Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to learn about linear equations in two variables. We are going to learn practice set 5.1 in this video. Okay, so let us proceed and ahead and understand what are linear equations in two variables. So look at this equation. What do you find here? Firstly, we see that there is x, there is x, there is y, right? Also we find some numbers here, right? Now what are these x and y called as? X and y are called as the variables. Okay, these are the variables. And what is the number 2 called here? And there is no number, so there is a number 1 here. Okay, so these numbers are called as coefficients, right? So when we are talking about linear equations, we are looking for two things. First, when it says linear, linear means the power here will be 1. The index of the power, the highest power of the equation will be 1. So that is why it is called as linear. Linear equation in two variables. Two variables, which are the two variables here, children? The two variables here in the equation is x and y. Okay, so that is why such equations are called as linear equations in two variable, where linear stands for the highest power 1. Yes, and variable, two variables means you will have two alphabets in the equation. Let us see one more example. 3x minus 7y is equal to 2. So here 3 and 7 are the coefficients of variables x and y. So this is called as linear equation in two variable because the highest power is 1. Okay, and so that is why it is linear, and in two variables because there are two variables x and y. Okay, so such equations are called as linear equations in two variables. Now in this video, we are going to learn practice set 5.1, where we are going to solve the sums by a method which is called as elimination method. Okay, so we are going to solve we are going to solve simultaneous equations. Two equations will be given to us, and we are going to solve them by the elimination method. Okay, like this. See. So let me give you an example. Suppose x plus y is equal to 4 is one equation, and 2x minus 5 y is equal to 1. This is the another equation. So two equations will be given to you, and you have to solve these. If to solve these means you have to get the values of x and y by solving these equations. And how are you going to solve this equation? By the elimination method. Now as the word suggests elimination, what we are going to do is we are going to solve these equations in such a way that we are going to eliminate one variable. Means we are going to either eliminate x from both the equations or y, and we are going to get a new equation, and then when we solve it we'll get the answer. Okay, so as a whole what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to find out the values of x and y. Okay, so let us see how are we going to solve these sums. Okay, so the first step when we solve this equation is make coefficients of any one variable in both the equations numerically equal. Okay, so understand the meaning of this sentence. Okay, now make the coefficient. So where are the coefficients? See here, the coefficient is 1. Here the coefficient is 1. Here the coefficient is 2. And here the coefficient is 5. Okay, so what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to turn the coefficients of any one variable. Means either you have to make the coefficient of x in both the equations as 2 or whatever, same. Okay, so we have to make the coefficient of any one, where either if you are taking x, then make the coefficient, their number should be same, or if you are taking y, then see to it that you are turning the, suppose if we are turning y here, so y, the coefficient should be both 5. Okay, so for this you can either add, subtract, either multiply or divide. Okay, so for the first step will be what, children? The first step will be to select any one variable, either x or either y, and you have to change the numbers in such a way that the coefficient of the variables will be same in both the equations. So either the coefficient of x will be same in both the equations, or the coefficient of y will be same in both the equations. So that will be our first step, and for doing so you can either multiply or divide the equations by the certain numbers. Now the second step will be, now once they become equal, you have to either add or subtract. By adding or subtracting new equations, eliminate one variable. So when you will be adding or subtracting, you will be left with only one variable, and then we get a linear equation in one variable. So either x will disappear or y will disappear when we add or subtract both the equations. Now when either y disappears or x disappears, suppose if y disappears, what will remain? Only x. So x will be equal to something, and then we are going to solve that equation to get the value of x. Okay, so once we get the value of any one variable, say x or y, we substitute that in the any of the equation to get the value of the other variable. It is very confusing to understand it in this way. So let us solve the sums and understand it in a beautiful way. But remember, the first step will be choose the variable whose coefficient you are going to make it same. Second, add or subtract to eliminate the one variable. So when one variable eliminates, you are left with only one variable. So we find out the value of that variable by solving, and then whatever value we get of the variable, we substitute it in the equation to get the value of the another variable. Okay, so now let us proceed ahead. So practice set 5.1. Let us understand the first question. By using variables x and y, form any 5 linear equations in 2 variables. So we have to form any 2 variables using x and y, and this is an open-ended question. You can form equations of your choice. I've given you 5 equations here. The first one can be x plus y is equal to 14. You can write down x minus y is also equal to 14, or x minus y is equal to 8. So once I've added, once I've subtracted, then I've added a coefficient to x. So 2x minus y is equal to 52. 3x minus 4y is equal to 20, and x plus y minus 12 is equal to 0. So you can form equations in your own way, but see to it that you're using both the variables and you're separating both the variables by either plus or minus sign, and then also see to it that the highest power is 1. So you can write down the equations of your own choice. Write 5 solutions of the equation x plus y is equal to 7. So we have to write down the any 5 solutions. So in what case will you have the value of x and y in such a way that it will give you answer as 7. So let me take few examples. Like for example, in the first case I have taken if x is equal to 1. If I take the value of x is equal to 1, okay, so what will happen? I will substitute 1 in place of x here. Okay, so look here. Now x plus y is equal to 7. So 1 plus y is equal to 7. Instead of x, I have substituted the value 1. And this 1 will go here and it will become 7 minus 1. Yes, so y is equal to 7 minus 1. So y is equal to 6. So this way I get the value of x as 1 and y as 6. Yes, so 1 plus 6 gives you 7. Yes or no? So this is one solution. Let us see the another one. Okay, now I have considered one negative value. The value of x you can consider as anything of your choice. You'll consider the value of x as something, you'll automatically get the value of y. Okay, so if I consider the value of x as minus 2, so I substitute minus 2 in place of x here. Yes, so minus 2 plus y is equal to 7. When minus 2 goes on the other side, it becomes plus 2, and 7 plus 2 gives us 9. Then we had the next one. X is equal to 10. So I considered x as 10 and I substitute 10 in place of x here. So I get y is equal to 7 minus 10, which gives me minus 3. Okay, then I take any other value as 4. So same procedure I follow. When I substitute the value of x as 4, I get value of y as 3, and then I consider opposite. I consider the value of x as 3. So when x will be 3, automatically y will become 4. So like this, I get any 5 solutions of this equation. So I write down in this way: 1 comma 61 comma 6, in the next bracket minus 2 comma 9, in the third bracket 10 minus 3. So these are all the solutions of the given equation. So x and y can have various values. Okay, so one equation is having many answers here. So these are the solutions of the given equations. Now let us proceed towards the next sum. So now we are going to actually solve the simultaneous equations, and we're going to follow the steps which we have learned just now. Okay. So now let us have a look at this. Solve the following simultaneous equations. The two equations given here is x plus y is equal to 4 and 2x minus 5y is equal to 1. So now I will choose either x or either y, and I will turn both the variables, either x in both the equation or y in both the equation, as same. Okay, the coefficient will be same. Now here, if I look carefully, I have to do two things. First, change the, so here now if I turn x in, if I want to change the value of x, see there is x, there is 2 in the second equation already. Here it is 2, so I'll have to bring 2 here. Okay, so for bringing 2 here, I'll have to multiply the entire equation by 2, or else I can change the value of y. Okay, so I can do that also. So for that I'll have to multiply this equation by 5. So this will be 5, this also will be 5, and this will also be 5. Okay, so normally change the signs of those variables whose signs are opposite. I repeat, change the value of the variables whose signs are opposite, so that it becomes easy for you to cancel those, because plus 5 and minus 5 will get cancelled and you will be left with x. So instead of multiplying x with any number, what we are going to do is we are going to multiply y with some number. Okay, so we already have y 5y in the second equation. So in the first equation there will be, I'll be multiplying it with 5. Okay, but how are we going to start our equation with? First we'll be naming. We'll say x plus y is equal to 4 is number equation 1, and 2x minus 5y is equal to 1 is equation 2. Now you see in the purple colored x variables, I can change that, or y I can change, but we will probably change the values of those variables whose signs are opposite. So I will change the value of y. Okay, so I will say multiplying equation 1, because I have to change y in this equation, right? So that is why I will say multiplying equation 1 by 5. Okay, so when I will multiply equation 1 by 5, what will happen to my equation? Let us have a look. So when I multiply equation 1 by 5, what happens is, see, I multiply 5 with this entire equation. Okay, I multiply 5 with this entire equation, 5x plus 1 and 5 into 4. So then we open the brackets. So 5 into x gives us 5x, 5 into y gives 5y, and 5 fours gives us 20. Okay, so when we multiply first equation, what we get is this. So we have 2, 1, 2 and 3 equations. We have got total 3 equations here. But the third equation has been obtained by multiplying the first equation, right? So we are not going to use the first equation now, because by multiplying it, we have changed this equation to a new equation. Now, we look at this 2x minus 5y and 5x plus 5. Here I have 5y and 5y, and I also have minus sign and plus sign. When you have these opposite signs, what we do is we directly say that we are going to add. Okay, we say adding equations 2 and 3. This is these equation 2 and 3, and then we arrange it in proper way. We say 2x minus 5y is equal to 1 and 5x plus 5y is equal to 20. So now we are going to add them. So when we add them, what will happen? We can add x and x, which will give us 7x, and plus minus 5 and plus 5 will get cancelled. Yes, because 5 minus 5 will be 0 and 20 plus 1 will be 21. So this is what is the second step. First step was changing the variable, then adding. Okay, and now we have eliminated y, right? So we are left only with x. Now we are going to solve the x as, now we are going to write down the value of x. X will be equal to 21 upon 7. When we solve this, we'll get x is equal to 3, and then we'll substitute this value of x. So we have got x here, so we can substitute the value of x wherever we want. We can substitute in equation 1, equation 2 or equation 3, wherever we wish to substitute. I guess equation 1 is easy to substitute, so we substitute it in equation 1 and we get it as, so 3 plus y. Okay, so instead of x we have written 3 here. 3 plus y is equal to 4. Okay, so y will be 4 minus 3, which will be 1. So we have got the value of x and y. So we write down it in the form of bracket. So it will be 3 comma 1 is the solution of the equation. Okay, so now let us move towards the next question. 2x plus y is equal to 5 and 3x minus y is equal to 5. Let us write down this as number equation 1 and 2. So 2x plus y is equal to 5 is equation 1 and 3x minus y is equal to 5 is equation 2. Now observe carefully. We have look at the purple x. Okay, here the coefficients are 2 and 3. See here the coefficients are 2 and 3. Okay, so we'll have to change this, or else look here, the coefficient here is 1, here also it is 1. So here if we see, instead of multiplying for x, we already have y as with the same coefficients, right? So the first step is clear, we don't have to change it. Secondly, the signs are also opposite, plus y minus y, so they will automatically get cancelled when we add them. Okay children, when the signs are opposite, okay, now remember this, we change the coefficients by multiplying or dividing. Yes, and how do we decide whether we are going to add or subtract? How are we going to decide that? If we look at the opposite signs, if the signs are opposite, then we add, and if the signs are same, we subtract. Okay, so now here first step is turning the coefficient same. So the coefficients are already same here and the sides are also opposite. So what we are going to do is we are going to add equation 1 and 2. So when we add equation 1 and 2, what happens? Plus y and minus y will get cancelled and we will be adding to 2 plus 3, which will be 5x, and 5 plus 5, which will be 10. So we have 5x is x is equal to 10 upon 5, which will be 2. So once we get the value of one variable, we substitute in any of the equation which we want, which is easy for us to solve. So I have substituted in equation 1. So we say substituting x is equal to 2 in equation 1. So see here, I have substituted it instead of x, 2, this is 2, and 2 instead of x I have written 2 inside the bracket, plus y is equal to 5. So y will be equal to 5 minus 4, which will be equal to 1. So finally we write down the solution 2 comma 1 is the solution of the given equation. Third equation. So let us first write down the equations. X minus 5y is equal to 16 and x minus 3y is equal to 8. So now we have this. Now let us see which variable we are going to change. Now if I want to change x in the second equation, I can change x in the second equation, or if I want to change the y, I'll have to change it in both the equations. 5 will have to change to 15 and 3 also will have to change to 15, right? So if we look here, 3x minus 5y is equal to 16 and x minus 3y is equal to 8. So it is easy for us to change second equation. Okay, for changing the second equation, what we'll have to do is, if I change second equation, I'll have to bring here 3, right? So if I want to bring 3 here, I'll have to multiply the equation with 3. So my step will be multiplying equation 2 by 3, and then I multiply. So here I multiply this entire equation by 3. Okay, see this 3 and here also I am multiplying it with 3. So when we do this, we get 3 into x will be 3x, 3 3s are 9, yes, and 3 8s are 24. Okay, so now we have got equation 1, 2 and 3. We have got 1, 2 and 3. But the third equation has been obtained by multiplying the second equation. Yes, and therefore we are not going to use the second equation now. So we are left only with the first and the third equation. Now when we are using first and the third equation, look here. Now here we have, in the first equation, 3x is here and 3x is here. So first step is over. We have changed the coefficient of any one variable to a same number. Yes, and now the second step is adding or subtracting. Now if we want to decide whether to add or subtract, we have to look at the signs. Now 3x is positive and here also 3x is positive. So the signs are same. So when the signs are same, we subtract, and when the signs are different, we add. Okay, but here since the signs are same, we are going to subtract. Okay, and what are we going to subtract? We are going to subtract equation 3 from 1. Okay, so we are going to subtract this minus this. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, so now we write down it properly. So we write down this equation 1, and below that we'll be writing down equation 3. Okay, now whenever we are subtracting, children, whatever equation we write down here, the second equation, that the sign of that equation changes. Okay, which means that positive 3x will become minus this, minus 3 9y will become plus 9y, and plus 24 becomes minus 24. Okay, the signs of the second equation changes since we are subtracting. Okay, so let us see that. Okay, so here we see it very properly. Wait a minute. Okay, so 3x and minus, here also will have minus, which will get cancelled, and minus 9y became plus y, and 20 positive 24 become minus 24. So we are left with plus 9. Now when you do this, no children, what happens is that the sign which was originally there is not applicable to it anymore. Okay, so now this becomes plus 9y minus 5, which is 4, and minus 24 plus 16, which is minus 8, which will give you y is equal to minus 8 upon 4. When we solve this, what we get is minus 2. Now when we'll be substituting this value of y in any of the equation, okay, so I guess substituting in the second equation will be easy. So x minus 3 into 2, see here, so we have substituted here in the equation 2, we have, instead of y we have substituted minus 2. Okay, so now x will remain as x, minus into minus, here this minus into minus will become plus, so x plus, and 3 2s are 6, so x plus 6 will be 8. So when this x 6 will go on the other side, okay, it will become minus 6, and hence 8 minus 6 will be 2. So we get the value of x as 2. Okay, so 2 comma minus 2 is the solution of the given equation. Next, 2y minus x is equal to 0 and 10x plus 15y is equal to 105. Now look at this. We usually write for x in the variables in the alphabetical order. Here the y is written as first and x is written after that. Okay, so we'll rearrange it and write down it in proper order. minus x plus 2y is equal to 0. Whenever we are shifting or rearranging, we have to rearrange it with the signs. Okay, so minus x I've written first and 2y I've written behind afterwards, and then 10x plus 15y is equal to 105. But if you look at the second equation, 10x plus 15y is equal to 105 is very, you can say a very big equation, or its numerical values are very high. So we can reduce this. If you see 10, 15 and 105 comes in 5's table, right? So we'll reduce this equation and we'll divide this equation, okay, by 5. So when we divide this equation by 5, what happens? See, this 10x has been divided by 5, 15y has been divided by 5, and 105 is also divided by 5, so that the value of this equation or the coefficients will become smaller. So 10 divided by 5 will give us 2, 15 divided by 5 will give us 3, and 105 divided by 5 will give us 21. Okay, so now we have here three equations, 1, 2 and 3. But this third equation we have got by dividing the second equation. So we have already used this. So we are not going to use this further. Now we are going to use equation first and third. Now if you look at the equation first and third, observe the variables now. Okay, so now variables here is minus x and 2x, or 2y and 3y. I guess instead of changing 2y and 3y, changing x will be easy, right? So we don't look after x, we concentrate at changing the value of x. Okay, so if I want to change the value of x, what will I do? Here 2 it is there, so I will change the value of x in the first equation by multiplying it with 2. So it will become 2x, right? So hence we will say that multiplying equation 1 by 2, what do we get when we do that? See, so this is what we get when we multiply equation 2. 2 into minus x, okay, will give us minus 2. 2 2s are 4. See here. 2 into minus x gives you minus 2x. 2 2s are 4. Y and 2 zeros are 0. Okay, so now this is our third equation. So we have got, this will be our third equation. We have changed it to fourth equation. Now here this third equation is being multiplied. Okay, so now what we will do is we will be adding equation 3 and 4. Okay, where is our fourth equation? This is our fourth equation. Okay, so now we are going to add equation 3 and 4. See, this is the equation 3 and this is equation 4. Why are we adding this? Because 2 is 2x here and there is 2x minus 2x here. So when the signs are opposite, there is plus sign here and there is minus sign. So signs are opposite, so we can add those equations, right? So we will be adding those equations and we get this 3. When we add, we get 2x plus 3y is equal to 21 and minus 2x plus 4y is equal to 0. So 2x and minus 2x will get cancelled. 3 plus 4 will be 7. Y is equal to 21. So y is 21 upon 7, which will be 3. Then we'll be substituting the value of y in any of the equation. Suppose I substitute in equation 1. So 2 into, see here. So I substituted here. So instead of this minus x is written here. 2 is here, this is 2, and then instead of y we have written 3. Okay, so now when we do this, what are we going to get? Minus x plus 2 into 3 is equal to 0. So 2 3s will be 6. Okay, so minus x plus 6 is equal to 0. So 6 is equal to, minus x will go on the other side. When minus x will come here, it will become plus x. Yes, and therefore 6 will be equal to x. So x is equal to 6. So we'll write down this in the form of brackets. We'll write down the value of x first. So 6 comma 3 is the solution of the given equations. Let us move towards the fifth. 2x plus 3y is equal to 4 is equal to 0. And x minus 5y is equal to 11. So I'll first write down the first equation in a proper way. I write down it as 2x plus 3y and I take the number on the other side. Okay, what have I done? I've taken this 4 here, it has become minus 4. And secondly, x minus 5y is equal to 11. So here, if you see, observe carefully, we can change the value of the second equation. We can change the x of the second equation. So multiplying equation 2 by 2, we get. So I've multiplied entire equations here. Whenever we multiply, we write down 2 and we multiply this entire thing inside the bracket, and then 2 with this also. Okay. So now when we multiply this, 2 into x will give us 2x. Okay. And see here, 2 into x, then 2 into 5y, and here 2 into 11. So let us see what we get. So 2 into x gives you 2x, 2 into 5y gives you 10y, and 2 into 11 gives us 22. Okay, so now, this is our one equation. Now, subtracting equation 3 from 2. Why are we doing this, children? I'm so sorry, from the equation 1, because subtracting equation 3 and 1. Okay. See here, this is 2x and this is also 2x, which we have changed. This equation 3 we have got by multiplying 2. Okay, by multiplying equation 2. So we are not going to use this equation. We are going to use equation 1 and 3. So once I get equation 1 and 3, we see here that 2x we have. So they are having the same signs, and therefore we are subtracting. Okay, so I write down the first equation and I write down the third equation. Then I will subtract, due to which the signs will change. So this plus will become minus here. This will become minus. Okay, this is already minus has changed to plus, and this uh, plus 22 has become minus 22. So plus 2 minus 2 gets cancelled. So we are left with plus 10. This is no more applicable. So we are left with plus 10. Yes, plus 10 and 3y. Okay, so plus 10 minus 3y will be, so plus 10 minus 3y will be 13, plus 10 plus 3y will be 13y, and minus 22 minus will be minus 26. So minus 26 upon 13. So y will be minus 2. Substituting the value of y. So we'll be substituting this in any of one of the equation, which of our choice. You can substitute in equation 1 or 2 or 3. So wherever you wish, you can substitute it. So I guess it is equation 2 is easy to substitute. So we substitute there, and instead of y we have written 2. So x minus into minus will become plus. This minus into minus will become plus. So x plus 5 twos will become 10. Okay, so this will give us 11 minus 10, which will be 1. So how will we write down the bracket? We'll write down the value of x first and followed by the value of y. So x is 1 and y is minus 2. So 1 comma minus, oh, I'm so sorry, we have to change this. 1 comma minus 2, 1 comma minus 2 is the value of the given equation. Okay, this won't be 3, minus 2 is the value of the given equation. Okay, okay, so 1 comma minus 2 is the value of the given equation. The last sum, 2x minus 7y is equal to 7, and 3x plus 7y is equal 3x plus y is equal to 22. So we write down it in the form of equation. Now here, if you see the second equation, in the second equation y can be changed, right? So I'll say multiplying equation 2 by 7. So I get the third equation. Okay, when I multiply it, I get 21x plus 7y is equal to 154. Now this we have got by multiplying equation 2, right? So we are not going to use equation 2, we are going to use equation 1 and 3. Okay, we are going to use equation 1 and 3. Now here there is minus 7, let us write, and here there is plus 7. So the signs are opposite, so we are going to adding equation 1 and 3. We say, see here, we write down add equation 1 and 3. So what will happen? Minus 7y plus 7y will go away. So you'll be left with 21 plus 2, which will be 23x, and 154 plus 7 will be 161. So x will be 161. So x will be 161 divided by 3, which will be 7. And then we substitute the value of 7 in equation 1. So when we substitute it, let us see what we get. Here now, say 2 into x. Instead of x, I have written 7. And or everything else is the same. So 2 sevens is 14 minus 7y is equal to 7. So now this 7, we want to find out the value of 7y. So we take it there. Okay. So 7 minus 7y, and we take the 14 on the other side. So which gives us my 7 minus 14, which will be minus 7. Now minus into minus will be cancelled and we will be left with 1. So 7 comma 1 is the solution of the given equation. Thank you.